Over the past year on the Central Coast, we have seen a lot of migration from both the Bay Area and LA and the surrounding counties. So in today's video, I'm going to compare cost of living between the three areas to show you what you can expect if you are considering the move. With everything going on in the world and people's newfound ability to work from home, we are seeing a lot of people fleeing big cities and moving to smaller communities like we have here on the Central Coast. So if this is a lifestyle that you have been looking for you and your family, you're going to want to stick around for this video. So before we jump into the numbers, I want to just give you a couple notes so you can better understand this video. First of all, what is the Central Coast? Technically, the Central Coast runs all the way from Monterey down to the start of Los Angeles County. However, in this video, I'm going to be covering southern San Luis Obispo County and northern Santa Barbara County. I do real estate here locally, so those are my territories, and that is going to be the focus of this video. Second, we are in a relatively small community. So what I did is I broke down and I grouped cities according to their price points and their kind of their vibe, their feel. So those groups will be as follows. San Luis Obispo will be by itself. Avila Beach and Pismo Beach will be together. Oceana and Grover Beach will be together. Arroyo Grande and Nipomo will be together. And then Santa Maria and Orchid will be together. Number three, where did I get this data? I grabbed it from an aggregate cost of living website. It is important to keep in mind that right now, home prices are appreciating very quickly. Food is on the rise. Food prices are on the rise, I should say. Gas prices are on the rise. Lumber prices are on the rise. We're in early May right now. We're seeing a lot of crazy things in the world going on. So keep that in mind. This data is going to change over time, and just be aware of that. And lastly, when I pull up, I'll show you counties for the Bay Area. I'll show you counties for the LA area. I'm going to show you that data. I'm not going to go too in depth on it. What I will do is average the LA area counties, and then I'll average the Bay Area counties to compare to the San Luis Obispo area, just to make it easier to understand. So I'm going to spin around, look at my computer. I have a pretty good memory, but unfortunately I can't remember all these numbers. It is important to remember that 100 on this number scale is average for the US. So let's look at California briefly. We'll look at the Bay Area and LA counties, and then we'll look at the comparisons. California, 149 overall, 50% higher than the US on average. Groceries, health, not really a big difference here, but where we see the big difference is housing. It's at 239. So that's a huge increase over the rest of the US. Now, looking at the Bay Area, I broke it down. You'll see here Santa Clara County, San Francisco County, Marin County, San Mateo County, and then Alameda County. I figured these are the best ones to kind of look at. This is where the bulk of people looking to move to the Central Coast are coming from. And if you are outside of those areas, you can kind of infer your cost of living versus them. You know those areas better than I do anyways. For a Los Angeles area, I looked at Los Angeles County, Orange County, and San Bernardino County. These are the numbers. Now let's compare them to the Central Coast. I'm going to work my way from north to south, and one of the things I want you to notice is that I have two different median house prices. The lower ones are going to be from the aggregate website. I did want to get you the actual MLS data so you can see an accurate price representation of what is happening right now compared to the aggregate, and you can kind of infer those differences for the areas you're living in as well. So let's start with San Luis Obispo. Overall cost of living is 163.9. Housing is going to be the big difference in all of these metrics here. For San Luis Obispo, we're at 317. The median on the aggregate site was 733,000 compared to the actual is about 810,000. Moving a little bit south, Avila Beach and Pismo, between the two of them, the average is 193 for the cost of living. Housing is going to be at 406, and the median house price is $1,168,000. So that's kind of more of our more expensive area. That's the beach community. A lot of very, very nice houses, bigger houses, ocean views, very nice weather, climate. The whole Central Coast has nice weather, but that's that like real beach community. Next, moving a little bit south, we're talking Oceana, Grover Beach. Average cost of living, 134. Housing is going to be 216, with the median home sales price right now is at $576,000. Arroyo Grande, Nipomo. The reason I group these together is they're a little bit more inland. Arroyo Grande has some city areas, but there's also a lot of rural areas. A lot of Arroyo Grande is kind of out in the country. There's a lot of acreage, and Nipomo is the same way. Nipomo is an unincorporated portion of San Luis Obispo County. It's got a very small town feel. We just recently got our second freeway entrance in Nipomo, so more rural of an area. Overall, the housing there is going to be, overall the cost of living is going to be 154.5, and the housing is going to be at 280, with the median house price at $742,000. Going even further south into the Santa Maria Valley, overall cost of living is at 123. The housing, the most affordable here on the Central Coast, 165.9, with the median home sales price right now at about 475. So those are the numbers for the county here, the Central Coast that I'm going to be talking about. Let's now compare those to the Bay Area averages. We'll put them on a chart so it's all really easy to read. On this graph, it's pretty simple to read. We see California, Central Coast, Bay Area, LA. The far left, the blue, is going to be the overall cost of living. The red's going to be the groceries, the yellow is going to be the health, and the green is going to be the housing. Again, we see the housing is the big difference between these areas. Health and groceries are relatively the same. Overall changes a bit as well, but the Central Coast compared to the Bay Area, we see the housing price difference is massive. In the Bay Area, we're up over 5 times the national average, whereas here on the Central Coast, we're about 2.7, 2.8 times the national average. As far as the LA area goes, overall, their pricing is going to be a little bit lower. Again, we did include San Bernardino County, which brings that overall pricing down pretty significantly. Maybe I shouldn't have included that. I don't know. You guys can tell me down in the comments. But this graph kind of speaks for itself. You can see housing is going to be the big difference. For Bay Area people, looking to get out of that big city that want a cheaper cost of living, maybe you have the ability to work from home. Maybe you have to just only commute a couple days a week up to work. 3.5 hours up to the Bay Area is not that long of a drive. That's going to be a big incentive for people to move here to the Central Coast from the Bay Area. As far as LA goes, the big incentive is just going to be getting out of that big city feel, getting out of that traffic, getting out of that smog. We have a great, relaxed area to live in here, a very good kind of small town vibe, but we still have all the amenities of the big cities. Unfortunately, one of the downsides of living here on the Central Coast is that we do not have a lot of industry. There's not a lot of high-paying jobs, and some of those high-paying jobs that we do have are getting shut down. So that is one of the downsides, but if you have a good-paying job and you want to move out of those big cities, get to a more rural area, get to kind of a more relaxed vibe, Central Coast is a good option for you. I hope you guys found this video helpful. In future videos, I'm going to explain a little bit more in depth why I broke down the areas the way I did. Avila Beach, Pismo Beach, San Luis Obispo, AG with Napomo, Oceana with Grover Beach, and the Santa Maria area. I'll go more in depth in future videos on that. If you found this video helpful, I hope you subscribe, like the video. Again, my name is Christian Thies and I'm with Hubble Real Estate. I do real estate here on the Central Coast. If you are considering a move here, feel free to reach out. My number is 805-459-9834.